What's up, guys? It's Megan Lee. After 5 years of taking a break from my channel, I'm back in the form of a beautiful podcast named Roughly Explained, where myself, along with my co-partner on this podcast.
Hi, I'm wanting to end West Virginia's estate. I'm Dustin.
So we basically talked. I've been wanting to restart my channel for the longest and just didn't know what I wanted to get back into because life has changed a lot for me since I last was into my channel, and decided to just come down and start a podcast
Because there's not enough podcasts.
there's so much to talk about, I feel like, as well, with my life and everything that's changed. It's pretty interesting. Pretty interesting. I was still living with my parents back then. I've bought a property. I've bought 2 new cars. One of them I acquired from him. So I've gotten really big into the car scene. It's become my favorite hobby, working on and building my cars. That's actually how I met him. I'll go ahead and let him describe the story of how we met. And let's get into Roughly Explained, episode 1.
Well, it was a great story. We were supposed to meet up for a photo shoot. I drove to Atlanta, and, that's about 2.5, 3 hours from me where we were going to meet up. She lived about an hour from where we were meeting up, and I got there on time. And then a few minutes later, I get a text, "I don't think I'll make it," which was very optimistic. She's like, "I just got up," and I'm like, "Okay, you're an hour away, you're not ready, but you're still like, maybe I'll make it. Maybe time travel's real. I'll go back in time and fix it." So I was like, you know what, it's fine. Don't care at all. I'm here at the photo shoot. I'm having fun. Did the photo shoot.
The photographer was so pissed off. He was so mad.
I'm not sure if it was. I think he may still be.
He probably
I think we need to go
is.
past tense and realize this is still happening. I think he still holds a grudge.
Yeah.
To me, I loved it. I was like, this is the best way to meet somebody. Somebody that's so optimistically a mess. I can relate to that.
I ended up saying that I had to babysit my nephew.
Yes.
But turns out I ate some brownies that weren't normal brownies and fell asleep, and then woke up right at the time I was supposed to be arriving. And that was when I didn't really know what to text him, because I was just like, I've never met this man. So I'm just going to say, hey, I don't think I'm going to make it. Because I could have thrown my makeup on, gotten an outfit, made it.
2 hours late.
But I didn't think I was going to make it. But I might have been able to.
Maybe. I do remember the photographer asked. I was like, "Oh, Megan's not Megan." He's like, "Why?" I was like, "I don't know." She said something about a cousin. He's like, "Do you think?" I was like, "No, probably not." But it doesn't matter. She's not here.
Not
The why
y'all
is
calling me on my
irrelevant.
bullshit.
Yeah.
It was really funny. And then we ended up doing an actual shoot where this is where our guest comes into play. It was for Valentine's Day of what year? 2021?
I'm not sure.
I think it was 2021. It had to have been. So we did a Valentine's Day shoot with his Lexus. He has an LS 460. And he brought this lovely guest to join in on the shoot. He says kind of some offensive things, so he's probably not going to talk much. Once we did that photo shoot, we just instantly kept talking from there and became really good friends. And so this whole podcast series, it's not just going to be car related. We're going to go into a lot. We're going to have some episodes about just crazy dating stories. I started dancing when I turned 18, so I have a lot of interesting stories about being a dancer in Atlanta. And I do fetish work as well on the side. That's a whole nother story, or episode, I should say. My life has definitely changed a lot since when I did used to put videos out there. So each episode is going to kind of be a little bit different. So just expect something new every time. God knows what it's going to be.
Yeah, I'm really excited. We've been setting up on the different topics and the idea of bringing back the channel, because huge audience. A lot of people were great in supporting her, and she was like, I want to bring it back. I was like, I think that'd be fun. I love riding coattails. Let me hop on them, guys. And we'll jump into some of these things and discuss some of the issues and dive into the personal and then the broader issues. Plus, we're lining up some guests to bring on, which will be a lot of fun, something that would be great to help expand it.
Yeah, we're going to have some really dope, exciting guests coming on for different episodes. It's not going to be just us every time.
Unfortunately.
Unfortunately. Mr. Tickles may or may not be here every time. I don't know. We'll see about that.
He will be.
Oh, my bad. He will be. But yeah, we're super excited about just talking about life, just growing up, you know, becoming an adult, I guess. It only gets worse. It's only gotten worse. It's only gotten worse. But for the most part, I did want to ask you something because I've never met anybody as damn near controversial as me. Controversial.
One of those is a word.
Controversial as me. Never met anybody else with some crazy stories like I have. So I guess let's start out with, shall we do dating or should we just do our favorite and least favorite cars? Or should we do like a crazy...
I think cars, because we're past halfway, and them dating stories, they go long.
We'll do that for episode 2.
We'll reel them in next time. Yeah, we'll go into cars.
2. So we're just going to basically do a little brief introduction. We're basically just going to do a little introduction.
That was an instant derail. Somebody can pay attention well.
You guys pretty much know me if you've watched my channel. Basically, I bought a property about 8 months ago, my first ever one. And then I've gotten 2 new cars since. I have a 2011 Infiniti G37, full bolt-on exhaust. She's got some other stuff too, like a Tesla screen, carbon steering wheel, carbon shifter knob, drilled slotted rotors, ESR wheels. I just bought some Wed Spezeria's wheels, 19s that I hopefully am going to put on. I don't know if they're going to go on the Import or the G, but besides that, and then I have my Import, which is bone stock. It's a 96 Nissan SEMA, who I got from him. So I guess I'll let you get into...
Me, currently, I have a dually truck, which I'll just start because that's the one that's the least exciting, but I drive it around for work. And then I have the 2007 Lexus LS460 that's wide-bodied and facelifted. It's a great car, kind of over it. It is for sale. Hit me up. It's bagged. It's aim gain body kit, all the fancy things. But then the car I care about, 97 Nissan SEMA, junction produce, exterior, all the body panels. Need to put a few of them on, but I got them all. Then just slowly starting to work in on the interior, but I love that car. 2-tone, drive it around everywhere. The ride is terrible because I got it on BC low coilovers that are custom made for air ride. It's not air ride yet. So
you did the extreme lows.
Yeah, and we valved them crazy, which will be great for air. BC was amazing for that, but I haven't put it on air yet. So now it just beats you to death, but it'll get there eventually. And I just love that car. Drive it around everywhere. It's the true joy, the fun one.
Everybody looks at you like you're crazy.
Yeah.
Because you're on the right-hand side driving, and they're like, thinking that, like, no, like one time I had my dog with me, Phoenix, and she was in my passenger seat, and my friend was like, I just passed by you on the highway and I thought your dog was driving. I was like, no, I was in my Import.
Did she feel safer knowing that?
No, they didn't. Thank you very much for coming at me sideways about my driving, but no, they didn't.
I had similar experience. It was after Riverside. I was driving and the vehicle started blaring on their horn and they kind of swerved at me a few times. Like, what is this guy's problem? And then I realized my passenger was a girl and she was sitting there double-handing her phone right in front of her face. I was like, oh, that's the left side. He thinks she's driving. Like, okay, fair point. You still shouldn't do that. It's rude, but yeah, you got a good point.
You got a good point. So I have a question. I'm going to answer first because I don't want you stealing my answer. So our least favorite car and our most favorite car. I'm going to start with the least to get the the worst one out the way. Mine, PT Cruisers. No, I'm sorry. Just,
Wrong.
I don't know why they even still exist.
There's a dedicated PT Cruiser culture, and
Ew.
so I respect it.
I don't.
Because it's silly, and the people that own them seem to know. I've never seen anybody that takes it as like this giant badge of honor. It's just a beloved thing, and it's silly, so it's okay. Because there's a lot of cars I don't like that are beloved cultures, but this one I'm like, well, they're having fun.
They look like cockroaches. A cockroach, like, as a car.
Not fully. I'm also biased because in high school, the lady that would take us to the track meets had one, and she always gave us tons of snacks. So I've spent so many hours riding in the back of a PT Cruiser eating snacks.
You got in the car because she gave you snacks. Smart. You really
I will
listen
do
to your
that
parents
to this
well.
day.
Yeah.
Pull
Oh
up
my
with
God.
snacks. I'm in. I'm not that pretty. I don't have to be safe. You got to worry about things. I got to worry about getting snacks.
Oh my God. So what's your least favorite car out there?
I think the thing that will not be taken well, but I don't get Miatas.
Oh, what?
I've never understood Miatas, and everybody acts like they're the greatest thing in the world.
I mean,
And I don't get you buy a car for now 12 grand, you spend 10 grand on it to have a car that's worth 12 grand, and no matter what you do, it's slow. And then people say, well, yeah, it's like slow, but in the corners you can go fast. No, you can't. You have 100 horsepower. You're not going anywhere.
it's like 120 horsepower.
No, it's supposed to be. But then whenever you actually get one, it's down on power unless you go
You're
and
so
buy
right.
it new.
You're so right.
And it's always going to be slow. I don't see the point. And it's not cool looking. I kind
They're
of get the
not even
girls that like the
pop-ups?
original ones. I get it if you're a girl. If you're a guy, it's like it's a cute little Barbie car,
Yeah.
but why? And then the other issue with it is nobody accepts criticism of them. It's like Miata's always the right answer. You got to get a Miata. I'm like, I don't know. How about a car with a top that will not leak? Because every Miata has a top that leaks. And just get something like an FRS. It's something that's in the same price range, more
Okay,
horsepower,
no.
and handles better. I'm not saying it's a great car, but I'm saying it's much better than a Miata.
I would do an S2K over a Miata, but we're talking a
But
lot more expensive.
That's all, yeah. If you got the budget, of course. But
Yeah.
I just think there's so many better 4-cylinder options than the Miata, but people can't get over the idea that the Miata is the greatest thing ever.
They're just cute. I think, and they're not something that you see mimicked easily. When you see a Miata, you know it's a Miata. It's not like...
I do accept the cute answer. It's just that is so little of the people, or maybe they're just not admitting it because everybody acts like it's a race car.
They do. They do.
And that's where I'm like, no. If you're just like, oh, I want it because it's a cute car, I'm like, yeah.
They're
have
like,
at
no.
it.
They're like, it's the best car ever. I'm like, it's a Miata, bruh.
It's always the answer. It's like, I don't know. I have a suitcase. Is it the answer? I have 2 passengers. Is it the answer? I just don't get it.
Okay, so favorite cars. Oh, I'm not going to get too deep into this because if I really wanted to get deep, I would go into like exotic supercars. I'm going to keep it a little simple. It's just one of the cars I've always wanted. It's like always been one of my favorite cars, a right-hand drive Mark IV Supra manual.
That's a good
It's just
answer.
something
It's not an
about-
exciting answer, but it's a
not.
good
It's
answer.
not. I didn't want to put too much thought into it. I was just going to give a real genuine answer because something about just the headlights and the front end and just, I don't know.
It's a solid answer. I would have to go with a 61 to 63 Ford Country sedan, which I will probably need you to
might
Google
need
or
to
put in
a
a
little
image.
picture.
Yeah,
Yeah, we're going
But
to need
it's-
an image up in that
It's
one.
a station wagon with the turbine tail lights because it was Googie styling at that point, and it has a great presence. And I saw one slammed on the ground. I actually tried to buy it at one point and then found out it was a big scam. So obviously I didn't give them any money, but it's beautiful whenever you drop it on the ground. And I've only seen it done once or twice, but you can put a Panther platform underneath, which is like your Crown Vics and all of those things, by just widening the frame. Then you get a more modern engine and brakes. Slam. It's so cool. That's what I want. It's original. It's cool. It's based on the Galaxy. That's the best car.
This is why we have complete opposite taste. Besides the SEMAs.
That is the next best car, yes.
If I had to do a second answer, it would probably be like a GT3 RS, but I feel like that's such a basic answer. I feel like everybody's like, I want a GT3 RS. Like,
Yeah.
so that's why I'm sticking with the Supra Mark IV. The Mark Vs are beautiful, but it's just something about the Mark IVs. I don't know.
It does have staying power too, because a lot of people talk about a dream car and they pick a car that's cool in the moment. And that's always the risk where you get the new car, it becomes the old car. And I like old cars. If I was going newer versus your GT3 RS, Cadillac is coming out with a Blackwing version of the Escalade. So you're going to get a ton of power. I don't remember. Look at it. But it's like 650 horsepower in an Escalade. Performance done, but you still get the towing. You still get all the... That would be an amazing all-around vehicle and way better than a Jeep Trackhawk that the water pump goes out every 10,000 miles in.
Okay, no, the Trackhawks, I just feel like they're overrated.
No.
I'm not a Mopar fan. I'm really not. I mean, I'll give them their due respect and credit, but is that gonna be a car that I'm like, that's the one? No.
I know I wouldn't put it under that, but I think that they are fun. And I do like on the Trackhawk, it's ridiculous, which I understand the more horsepower Challengers, but I think the Challenger and the Chargers are kind of saturated because they had, well, I know, but I'm even saying like the horsepower where I don't know which one's which. If you got the V6, it's like, okay, you got the V6. It was either a budget choice or you chose wrong. But then you've got this one, then you got the red eye, then you got the wide body, then you got the red eye wide body, then you got the Hellcat, then you got the Demon Cat. And it's like, nobody can keep up with this naming. It's the same problem that 911s have, but it's so complicated that I lose interest and I glaze over of, is this the best one? I don't know. And then they'll come out with a new best one. So at least the Trackhawk, I'm like, you got the, you got your Jeep SUV or you've got the Trackhawk and we know, hey, that thing's great. And it's ridiculous because I want ridiculous vehicles.
So go ahead, leave a comment down below on what your guys' least favorite and most favorite car is because we would love to hear. And for our next episode, I'll go ahead and give y'all a hint. We're going to get into some juicy dating stories, some really deep, juicy, interesting dating stories because we have some nightmares to talk about. And I think it'll be quite funny.
I wouldn't say nightmares. I think that they're entertaining experiences.
Traumatic or entertaining?
Entertaining. It's only sad if you cry.
Well, okay, I'm a Cancer. Don't come at me like that now. Don't come at me at that. I'm a crybaby Cancer.
And I'm someone in the dating world, I will say, whenever a girl is like, what's your sign? I'm like, ooh, we're not going to work.
We're not going to work.
The sign is on to the next one. Sorry.
On to the next one. What time were you born? On to the next one.
Dang it, because I know that one. Oh.
I don't even know that for myself.
7'15". Oh. I weighed 7 pounds, 15 ounces.
Oh my God. You know yourself better than I even know myself. I don't know. Well,
that's why I'm here. I'm trying to keep it on the rails or you're trying to derail.
Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this little episode. I hope you guys enjoyed seeing me again. If you didn't, too bad, so sad. I'm here. I'm back. We have way more episodes to come. Go ahead, comment down below your least favorite and your most favorite car. If you have one, if not, just say, I don't give a shit about cars, or just don't comment at all. But we're going to be back with our next episode out soon, hopefully, with some very interesting stories. And if you guys have any recommendations on what you want to hear us talk about, we have a list of some stuff we want to get into. But if y'all want to hear us talk about something in specific, comment down, let us know, and we will dive deep into it. And that's roughly explained.